Hello, everybody. This is a micro lecture on time management. How do we manage our time? We can learn about time management from a former US president who was great at managing his time and he accomplished a lot for his country. His name is Dwight Eisenhower. He's no more. However, he has left a strong legacy of how to manage time and he has developed this decision matrix which we can all use in our day to day lives for both professional and personal purposes. The idea is to divide our tasks for the day based on urgency and importance. It is then we can actually manage our time. So let's see how to do that. But before we get to the matrix itself, we need to know the differences between what urgency is and what importance and not important is, and what urgency and what not so urgent is. So let's get that definition down. So what it is urgency refers to whether or not a task needs immediate attention. So pretty much we understand what that is. Let's move the dial and let's get a little bit more clarity on what an urgent task means. But these are tasks that come with deadlines. So deadlines are mostly not compromised, right? Therefore, we need to meet the deadlines. Therefore, these can be classified as urgent tasks. If the deadline is not met, there can be a potential crisis and a pressing problem. So in that case, that task becomes an urgent task. All right, now not so urgent tasks, they can be attended to a little later. We have this cushion, we have this comfort of planning for it, creatively thinking how to accomplish it, talk to somebody about it, and come up with strategies and opportunities, how to do it better and things like that. Basically, it's availability of a little bit more time. So it's not urgent, but an urgent task is time bound. So that's what it is. You got to attend to it. Otherwise, there will be negative consequences. All right, now let's go to the next distinguishing factor here. Eisenhower basically wants us to distinguish between an urgent task and a not urgent task. Then he also wants us to think whether a task is important or not important. So what is important? It refers to whether or not a task advances your mission and long-term goals. So it's not urgent, but it's important, which means you need to do this in order to ensure that you achieve that long-term goal and keep positively moving in the right direction, advancing your mission. So let's get a little bit more clarity here. Move the dial. All right, here we are talking about some examples such as certain meeting with certain people, talking to certain people regarding probably understanding the tasks through emails, clarifying tasks through emails, getting the necessary information to do a task through emails, all those kinds of stuff. And the calls could be audio or video calls, certain administrative tasks which will enable people to do the functions that they're supposed to be done. So all that kinds of stuff, they're quite important, but maybe not urgent. All right, what's not important? That's all the filler work, the sometimes unnecessary documentation, it could be an unnecessary reporting work, when somebody already knows what has been done. Sometimes you do redundant reporting, and sometimes too many meetings. If it could be all accomplished through one meeting, but too many meetings, and it looks like work, but it's not necessary and it's not important. So therefore, this can actually eat up a lot of time. So one has to really assign some tasks as not important, because not every task will be important. All right, so that is the basic skill of distinguishing all our tasks for the day into 4 categories. Now let's go to the matrix. Okay, let's go to the matrix, and there are 4 quadrants, and let's move the dial and once again understand how to assign our tasks into these 4 quadrants, and then attend to the urgent and the important ones first. All right, so the urgent and the important ones, you do these tasks first. Okay, they are time bound and they have deadlines, and negative consequences will follow if we don't do it. All right, so the not so urgent ones, they're important but not urgent. They can be scheduled, they can be, we can like get to it a little later. There's some time here, and you can use some creativity to do it. You can collaborate, you can talk to people, you can, figure out how to do it. There's some time, but they are important. You got to get to it. Now there is this idea that it is not urgent and not important. That's why it falls in this quadrant. So this can be actually removed. The filler work, you know in the busy work, it looks like that, but it's not really going to give any value to the project itself. It's more like some kind of a back end work which may not be necessary. All right, so that can be deleted or moved away, far away from you. So that's the thing. And the final thing is not so important but urgent. So this is a tricky one. As people who manage time and people who have resources, they can always delegate these tasks to people and other people, or postpone these tasks for themselves. So that's how you treat the non-important tasks. And so this is what is very important: urgent and important. So Eisenhower, very efficient president, has taught us this interesting way of managing time. And he's a guy who was like, he accomplished a lot. He was the one who started NASA, so one of that's a big accomplishment, right? NASA, and also the whole the interstate highway in America. If you go to America, you can take one road, you can actually go throughout the country. That interstate highway, which we also have emulated, and so that was also accomplished by him. A lot more accomplishments. So that's how time was managed by Eisenhower, and that's something that we can learn from very wise people like him. All right, thank you so much for listening.